Hello viewers, and welcome back to another plush collection here on the Rockstar 247 channel. Now, this one will be our Goodness Gang plush collection, and we will be doing it in categories. The first category is the original Goodness Gang plush that came out in stores, well, not stores, it was actually in grocery stores in Europe, but these were the first, batch, I guess, first released, Goodness Gang plush. It was like the first wave, almost, and you'll notice that all of the first wave of the Goodness Gang plush are in the trailer and will be in episodes 1, 2, and so on. So, let's start with Sophie the Strawberry. Next up is Grace Garlic. You'll notice that all of these Goodness Gang members have just Goodness Gang on the tag. So, the original Goodness Gang batch just has Goodness Gang on the tag, and that means that they were like one of the first wave or first released batch of Goodness Gang members. So next up is, I'm going to be calling him Craig the Cantaloupe in my series, but I actually watched a different review of this guy, or an episode, and I highlighted his name and pasted it in Google Translate, and it actually turned out to be Jimmy the Melon, so that's what it is in English, translated, but I'm just going to call him Craig the Cantaloupe in my series because he looks a lot like a cantaloupe, and Jimmy the Melon would be a little weird since, the names kind of match the first letter of their, what they are. So Craig the Cantaloupe, I think, suits him better, so that's what I'll be calling him in my series. Next up is Paul the Pear. So I also wanted to tell you that the names that were given to them, I'm going to use Pippa the Pepper as an example. You probably know her from Awesome Stuff Love Frenzy. Pippa is actually, I believe it's called, Peter Pepper in, the real-life Goodness Gang, but sometimes I'm just going to rename them to what I would like their names to be in the series, so, I'm pretty sure this one isn't called Paul the Pear, but I'm going to be calling him Paul the Pear just because that's what I want his name to be in the series. So, without further ado, Paul the Pear. So next up is Eric the Eggplant. Now, a commenter actually named this one for me because I was having trouble coming up with a name for him because of a translation issue with the name of the fruit and the name of the person. So a commenter actually named this for me, and thank you. You know who you are, but thank you, because otherwise this guy would not have a name. Next up is Charlotte and Sherry, the Cherry Twins. They're actually pretty cool. They also have this connector. I can't help but be reminded of the Cherry Bomb in the Plants vs. Zombies plush collection because it actually looks quite a bit like the Cherry Bomb's connector as well. And it's also thinner than the Cherry Bomb's one, so both can break very easily. So if you get this plush, make sure to be careful. And the final original released Goodness Gang batch, I guess you could say Goodness Gang Wave 1, this is Ben the Banana. He was also part of the Wave 1, and his tag actually got cut off, but I still know that he's from Wave 1 because I've done a lot of research into these plushies. So, now it's time for the second wave of the Goodness Gang plushies. So, this wave is called Goodness Gang Superfoods. I do not have all of the Goodness Gang plush in any of the waves, so I'm just going to tell you that right now. But the Superfoods actually are their own wave. In a past video, I may have said that there's only two waves, the first wave and then the third wave, which is the Body Squad wave, but there's three waves instead of two because I did a little more research and I found out that there's actually three waves. So next up is Alex the Apple, and he is part of the Goodness Gang Superfoods, as you can see by his tag. It says Goodness Gang Superfoods. And that kind of proves that he's part of the second wave of the Goodness Gang plushies. Next up is Fiona the Fig. She is actually a little weird because I did some research, and she is actually part of the superfood, or wave 2, but her tag does not say superfoods on it. So that means either this plush is a fake, or they just forgot to print it on there, or something, because I really haven't seen fakes of Goodness Gang plushies, so, I mean, this must just be like a misprint or something, because I've done a lot of research, and I'm almost 100% sure that Fiona the Fig is part of the Goodness Gang Superfoods, or Wave 2, so I don't really know. This plush is a little bit of a mystery. Next up is Pippa the Pepper, as seen in Awesome Stuff Fluff Frenzy. She got kicked off because of an injury, but as you can see, the plush is not damaged, so Pippa is fine, but obviously it's a Goodness Gang member, so it's going to be in this plush collection. Next up, also an Awesome Stuff Fluff Frenzy, but a little less memorable, it is Max the Mushroom. He was in Awesome Stuff Fluff Frenzy for the people who watched, like, episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, like those ones. The really old Awesome Stuff Fluff Frenzy episodes had Max the Mushroom in it. He got voted off, though, so he doesn't really have a chance. And next up is the only Goodness Gang member to remain in Awesome Stuff Fluff Frenzy. It is Thomas the Tomato, and he is actually in pretty good condition. And he's still in Awesome Stuff Fluff Frenzy, so if you like Thomas, be sure to support him in Awesome Stuff Fluff Frenzy. And next up is all of the Body Squad members. So, again, I don't know some of the names, so I was forced to make up names that I will use in the series for them. So, we're gonna start off with Polly the Pumpkin. He is pretty cool, and as you can see on his tag, it says Goodness Gang Body Squad. And this is the third wave of Goodness Gang plush that were released. I have no idea if they're going to release a fourth wave, but I'm glad they released a third. Next up is Penelope the Pineapple. This has a very detailed a fabric pattern, I guess you could say. And I also did a review of this, so be sure to check out my channel and you can dig through and try and find this review. I made it a long time ago, so it might be a little odd, but I did do a review of this one. Next up is Simon the Celery. He is also pretty cool. He has a cool leaf design up top, and he also has the Body Squad tag. The funny thing about this one, though, is if you can see, he did not come with a nose. It was like they just cut his nose off. So, I mean, now that I said it, I know it's probably pretty noticeable, but if I didn't say anything about it, I didn't think you would really notice, so I didn't think it really mattered. Next up is Larry the Lemon. He is probably one of my favorites, just because of, like, his unique shape, I guess you could say. He has the Body Squad tag, and he also has this little green spot up here that makes him look exactly like a lemon. Alright, next up for the Body Squad is Patrick the Plum. When I said his name was Patrick, he actually kind of reminds me of Patrick from SpongeBob just because of his face. Not because of his body or anything, but just because of his face, it kind of reminds me of Patrick from SpongeBob. But anyways, here he is with his Body Squad tag, and that's Patrick the Plum. Next up is Chloe the Cauliflower, and this one is also probably one of my favorites along with Larry the Lemon. This one actually has a very unique texture for the cauliflower. It's almost like, I don't really know how to describe it. It's kind of like a rug or carpet almost, but it's not as like rough. It's really soft. So, like, it's pretty cool. And of course, she has her Body Squad tag to make it official. And I like this one. It's pretty cool. And our final Body Squad member is Rebecca the Radish. She actually has very long leaves up top, and they're kind of rough. It's made of kind of a rough fabric, and she also has her Body Squad tag, as pretty much, if not all of these do. And she actually has two different colors to make her look exactly like a radish, so I like this one. Before we move on, I did also want to tell you guys that I do not have all of the Goodness Gang plush. If anything, I think I might have all of the original Goodness Gang plush, but I still have some superfoods to collect. I still have Body Squad members to collect. I think I might have just one left, and that's like the watermelon, and he's actually pretty cool. But I don't have all of the Goodness Gang plush. I'm close because they actually haven't been making anymore. And they also have like miniatures as well, so they're like keychain ones. But as for like all of the original this size of Goodness Gang plush, I really only have a couple left to collect. But I'm getting close, but I do not have all of them, so this collection is not complete. And just because they aren't making any more Goodness Gang plush doesn't mean I can't make my own. Now, when I made these ones, I didn't have, you know, the hard plastic eyes to use, because obviously, you know, those take like work because you have to like print the eyes onto that little piece of plastic, so they don't look exactly alike. But here is Carl the Corn. I made this one all by myself, and he's pretty detailed. He does not have a tag, but yeah, I'm proud of this one. And the second one I made is Richard Raisins. Now this one's actually pretty cool. It's like a box of raisins, and his band can actually come off. I did not glue it on. So he's pretty cool, and he looks almost like an official Goodness Gang plush, but not exactly. So I'm pretty proud of this one though, and Carl the Corn. I'm pretty proud of these two plush that I made because they turned out pretty good. So the next couple plushies I will be showing you are plush that I got or I made specifically for the Goodness Gang series. So they aren't official Goodness Gang plush. Some of them may be custom, some of them I might have made, but some of them were made by other people or, you know, mass-produced, manufactured, stuff like that. I got these plush specifically for the Goodness Gang series, so they will really only be appearing in my series. But without further ado, let's get going. We have the Poo and Pee Plush. These two I will be using in the Goodness Gang series. Don't really know what they could be doing in the Goodness Gang series, but I saw them and I thought, well, they kind of look like Goodness Gang plush, so I could use them in the series. If you have any ideas for these two characters, post them in the comments, because that would be a pretty good help for me. Next up is this corn plush. This one is I kind of got at a carnival. I didn't really know what else to use it for, but I figured that I could probably come up with something in the Goodness Gang series. I don't know if he'll be good or if he'll be bad. I don't really know. So again, with this character, if you want to post ideas for this character in the comments, feel free, because I do not have ideas for this character right now. When I decide to put him in the series, though, I will be sure to come up with ideas for him. Now, this next plush I made all by myself. This plush I like to call the Creator. I made him specifically for the Goodness Gang series, and you don't have to post ideas for this character in the comments, because I already know what I want to do with this character. He has really shiny fingers and toes as well, and also really shiny nose, so that's pretty cool. He is very big. He has this cool design for hair, and I also even made a tag for him. Even though it's not really a tag, I wrote the Creator on the tag, and that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna set him down with the rest of the Goodness Gang people. And it can't really be a good series if you only have heroes, right? There has to be some sort of villain in this whole scenario. So the next people are going to be villains in the Goodness Gang series. So the first two are the Donut Men. I like to call them Jim and Tim because they're pretty cool. I got these custom made off of Etsy, and if you want to know what their character is going to be like in the series, I kind of think they're going to be, you know, the stupid ones who always fail all the time, but always disappoint their boss. So if you wanted a little character idea from them, that's what they're going to be like in the series. Next up is another one I got custom made off of Etsy. It's the monster cake, or monster slice of cake, if you want. These eyes actually move, so you can like move them in different directions, as well as this one can as well. He's pretty cool. I like his look, and the minute I saw him on Etsy, I thought, well, I could use him for a villain in the Goodness Gang series, so here we are. He's pretty cool, and he's probably going to be above them, obviously, because he's going to be smarter than them, but he's not going to be the big boss, if you know what I mean. If you want to know who the big boss is going to be, it will be none other than Chef Noodles. Yes. So, he is actually going to be the main villain in the series, and I'm looking forward to see how his character will develop and change, and I'm also going to see how good of a villain he will be, and that'll be up for you guys to judge, but yeah, he's pretty cool. So with that is all of my Goodness Gang plush. If you like them, please leave a like on the video, and if you have any questions about the series, or questions about the characters, or if you even have character ideas for the Poo and Pee plush, and possibly the corn plush, please post a comment and let me know how you're gonna like the series, or character ideas, or something if you want. And the Goodness Gang series will be coming out soon, don't worry. It's just taking a while because I'm currently on a film cycle, because I want to get all the episodes of all your favorite series on the Rockstar 247 channel out to you so you can view them. But episode 1 will be coming soon, and this is all of the Goodness Gang plush I currently own. If you haven't, shoot for the stars and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.